too. Wonderful. All right. So we're just starting our meeting. And let me just start this. Hello, everyone. Well, welcome to our March meeting. Our March meeting, we have a special guest today. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a special guest speak for about an hour. And then afterwards, we have about half an hour of general discussion and decision about the next meeting. The next meeting we have is going to be in April. And I suggest we do it 15th of April, mid-April, because it's Easter, the second weekend of April. And what I like to do is to introduce and hand over to Marlise to host today's session, because I'm going to be traveling and hoping to catch the end of this session. So, Marlise, over to you.
Just a really quick question, Anne. When is our guest coming on?
He should be coming on right around now. He's not on yet. So
are you going to be interviewing him?
Well, you're moderating the show, so.
Okay. I didn't know if you were leaving or. Okay. So you're going to be with us.
I'll be with you a little bit. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to be your co-host and find out if people have trouble getting in. And maybe what we could do is to go around and just introduce ourselves so we know where everybody is.
Yeah.
And I'll mute people if necessary. Okay. So Marlise, let me introduce Marlise. When first of all, I started this in August 2020 because it was getting a bit lonely in Zoom, and I wanted to meet other people who do what I do. And then I asked for some help, and Marlise last year volunteered to help me. So today is the first day that I'm kind of giving her the reins to moderate this meeting. And each time we have a special topic. In fact, we have one scheduled for today and one for next month and the month after. Next month is on improvisation. Lindsay is going to be speaking on that. And the month after that in May is Hawaiian strums. And that's Mark. Mark isn't here today. So what we usually do is we go around the room, kind of introducing each, maybe just a minute or half a minute, where we are, what we teach, how long we've been teaching, or if we plan to teach. And we usually go around the world that way. So sometimes it makes it sound better if we're muted. So I'm in Boston, and I like to hop over the USA and have Marlise introduce herself. Marlise?
Hi, everybody. Real quick, I will be indexing this as we go along. So don't worry if I'm kind of seem a little spaced out or something. It just means I'm typing. And hello, I'm in Vancouver, Washington. I'm new to the ukulele. I love learning more and more about it. I'd like to get to a place where I feel really comfortable teaching. I have some private students. I do some, over the in Zoom teaching. And I also, like Anne, I'm home by myself a lot teaching. The student leaves and here I am alone again. So it's kind of nice to have a community we can build and get to meet other teachers and other people and kind of see how you go about things. And we talked a lot about our goals and dreams and hopes for the year. We can all help each other with that. Hardy, do you want to go next?
I'm in Germany, and yes, I teach a lot of at workshops, and I do some Zoom teaching, but I'm in a little break at the moment. Yeah, that's it.
Thank you.
Mhm.
And I'm just going to go through because I see Heather, you're the next on my personal screen. So I'd love to hear from you. Heather, I think are you trying to unmute?
Okay. Hi.
There
Yeah,
she
sorry
is.
about that. We're away. Hi. I live in Surfers Paradise on the Gold Coast in Australia. I've just come back from 3 months in Miami, Florida, where my son lives. My background is I started off playing the classical flute, and then I've been a school teacher all my life. Head of the music department. I've taught recorders, guitar, ukulele, percussion. I'm kind of been taking a bit of a retirement since the pandemic from teaching. And I just absolutely love the ukulele. I think it's a great, fun instrument. And I'd like to get into it more, and I'd like to teach. On the Gold Coast, I'm singing a 4-part harmony choir and chorus, and I sing in another classical group. And yeah, I love music. And yes, I thought how wonderful to join this group. And I would like to teach the ukulele perhaps online. Lots of my friends from New Zealand, where I'm originally from, are in huge ukulele groups. So I'd like to look them up. But for me, it's really great fun. I don't think I'm a brilliant ukulele player, but you know, it's a great instrument, and I think it's got super potential. You can get really good really quickly. It's not like the violin, which is a bit of a long journey. So great that you've got this group. Thank you, ladies. Really exciting that you're organizing all these lovely, beautiful meetings, and you're having guest speakers and inspiring us all and bringing joy to our lives.
Thank you. It's a good thing.
Yeah, hopefully we'll be able to pass it on and bring joy to, you know, the lives of others. And even in supply teaching, when I go into schools, to bring music into the classroom and share it with children is a very beautiful thing. And it does really make their day, and they're always happy. And I think it's a very challenging job being in teaching, but I've been very fortunate because I teach music. Children always love it, and they can participate and feel safe and experience success. So yeah, I love music, and I think this is fabulous to have this meeting. So thank you for allowing me to join your group.
I'm happy to have you. Welcome. Colin, do you want to go next? You're on the just kind of going down the row of folks on the way that you're sort of organized on my screen here.
Okay, well, I'm Colin Tribe. I'm in the UK, a town near Nottingham, between Nottingham and Lincoln, called Newark. I live right on the river, which is a lovely place to sit and compose and arrange, which is my main thing that I do. I started working on ukulele about 15 years ago and I was already working for an exam board, Victoria College, and I wrote a ukulele exam for them, following doing one on self-accompanied singing, which I'm quite proud of that as an exam. Actually did someone doing a fellowship in that, who was a classical pianist, but also a great singer. And I spend my time arranging. I'm lucky enough to have a publisher, Shots, who are in Germany, and I've just signed up to do a second collection of arrangements of pop and jazz tunes. So that's basically me. I'm a ukuleholic. I play all the time. I'm never alone without a ukulele, and enjoy I still compose. And a recent tune has really been popular, doing it in groups, in workshops, which is called it's called the Swinging Scholars, and it's just a fun tune which came when I was examining out in Ireland. So I'm always trying to be creative, and if I can't be creative, then I'll take somebody else's tune and arrange that.
Have I seen you on the 100 Days
No.
of Ukulele on Facebook?
No.
Okay. You just look familiar. That's all. I feel like I've seen your videos or something. Do you have videos on YouTube?
Yeah, nearly 2,000.
Okay, that's why. Okay, gotcha. That's why I've seen you. Thank you. Well, I'm glad you're here.
Thanks. Great to be here.
Lindsay, do you want to go?
Yeah. I'm Lindsay Higgs. I like Colin. Ironically enough, I've written a ukulele syllabus. I compose quite a lot. I've written a concerto, which has had one performance so far. And I'm interested in writing more. I don't know. I'm not sure what I'm doing. I'm writing more songs at the moment, but I'm always looking for opportunities to write. And I teach ukulele mainly on a kind of one-to-one basis with students, and I run sort of a group that they can play in as well. That's the kind of thing I'm interested in. I do a bit of rock guitar. I came from I bought my first guitar when I was 15. I think I bought my first ukulele a few months after that. And it's just something about it that really appealed. So I've been I'm playing it on and off for more years than I care to remember, really. That's me.
Well, it's great having you back. We appreciate you having a lot of great input on our last meeting. I'm glad you're back. Thank you, Lindsay. All right. Let's see, Jeffrey.
Hi, I'm Jeff Weinberger. I'm here in the state of Maine in the United States, North America, Western Hemisphere, planet Earth, solar system, etc. And I've been playing uke for over 10 years now. I've been playing guitar forever, and took up the ukulele fairly recently. I think I've been at it about 10 years and been teaching up a storm. It's about 50-50. I think about half of my students these days are guitar. I actually teach some bass students and occasionally get asked to teach instruments I don't even play. Being an educated music teacher and having studied music education, I'm able to teach a little bit of piano, a little bit of voice, and things that I'm not particularly good at. But ukulele I've gotten okay at. And I actually teach full-time. I teach privately. I teach on Zoom. I teach at a actual music school, Bay Chamber Music School in Rockport, Maine. Sweetland School, which is an alternative elementary school. I do ukulele classes after school there. Those are elementary kids. I guess with public schools you would call it grades 1 through 6. They don't do it that way there. It's a private school, but roughly that age group of say 4 years old to 10 years old, and that's been a lot of fun, although very challenging. And I would like to hear some advice from some of you who might teach children, and I need some help as far as classroom control and that sort of thing. But anyway, I have some books. I have recently written a book of ukulele etudes, and I just released that recently. Colin's copy is on the way. It's as we speak. It's flying or going by boat, or it's coming, and it's been quite a journey writing books. I had never thought I would be an author, but here I am. Now I actually have 3 books, and I very much admire people who are able to communicate things with music, either compose things and publish them or write instructional manuals. And that I never envisioned myself doing that, but here I am, and it's great. I really like it, and I really am happy to share anything I can with everybody here as to my own experiences. But it's been a lot of fun, and it is an incredible instrument. It can be so serious and intense, but it can also be fun and goofy, and a great vehicle for people to express themselves. So I very much appreciate being part of this group.
Yeah, and I appreciate was it last month? No, it was the month before. So that would have been January that you joined us and talked about your book.
Just last month, yeah.
Was it last month? Okay, yeah. I have not indexed that show yet, but keep an eye out for it, because it was really great, and you had such great insight, and If anyone here wants to watch that and see Jeffrey, that was just last month on our ukulele meetup on YouTube. So you can watch that. Yeah. Thank you, Jeffrey.
Thanks.
Marlise,
I see. Yes.
I'm gonna just interrupt because I've got to go
Yes.
and I want to catch the last part of this. So can in the interest of time, because it's quite late in Spain right now, could I just have we go over to our main speaker?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So we invited Choan Galvez. Sorry, I've got your name. I can't speak Spanish, and this is the main event of today, and I would dearly love to be the one interviewing you, but unfortunately I have to drive and get home so I could catch the last part of this. So I will catch you on screen. So I'm going to hand over to Marlise to interview you and introduce you.
I love it. Can you, hi,
Hi,
how do you pronounce your name?
Choan Galvez.
Okay, I'm sorry, I don't have my speaker up loud enough. Could you repeat that?
Choan Galvez.
Juan. Oh, so the CH is
Choan.
Chuan.
That's it. Like chocolate.
Okay, good. Awesome. And where are you?
I'm from Zaragoza in Spain, but I live in Barcelona since like 23 years ago. So I'm from Barcelona.
You're in Barcelona right now?
Yeah.
Gotcha. And I would love all your help to introduce, if you could introduce yourself to the group and talk about what you do. If you want to start with an introduction and then just kind of tell us what you do.
Okay. If you allow me to share the screen, I have prepared a presentation.
Okay. Can everyone hear everybody okay? Can you hear Chuan?
Do I need to raise my volume? Is it better now?
Yeah, I was having a little hard time hearing you. It's better now. Yeah, feel free to share your screen.
Okay, there's a system permission I need to.
Let's see. It says all participants. You should be able to share.
Oh no. So I need to relaunch Zoom to share the screen. I'm back in a minute.
Oh, you'll be back in a minute?
Yep.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, at the bottom, he just needs to click share screen. Is he okay with
Yeah.
that? There's a green box with an arrow. You just click, if he would like to just click on that, then he
I
can
think
take
he
us.
took off.
He can take us to his presentation slideshow. I'm sure he probably knows that, but if there's
There he is.
any of us that can help him.
Yeah. You're back. All right, Chuan, there we go. And you're still muted.
Sorry about that. I've
There
made
you go.
a decision to show you what I do, who I am, my books, my music. If it works, we could serve a few videos too. So it should take like 20 to 30 minutes, depending on how much music do you want to hear. So
Yeah, and they're
I'm Choan Galvez from Barcelona. I'm a ukulele player, composer. And if you want to make the question after the presentation, questions are welcome. I'd like to tell you all you want to know about me and my music. So things I do, I play music, and I think you all do too. I read music, most of you also do. I publish music. I run my own music publishing service. I teach music like you do. And last but not least, as you all do, I love ukulele. So I haven't played the ukulele for my entire life. I started playing the bandurria, which is like a kind of mandolin. Do you know the bandurria? Anyone?
Mm-hmm.
A sort of mandolin from Spain, 6 strings, very hard to play, not so nice to hear, but it's a popular instrument around Spain. I started playing like a child. When I was a teenager, I wanted to be a rock star, so I started playing guitar. I want to electric guitar. I started playing bass guitar. I played in punk and rock and folk bands, and it setting I could be involved since I was like 17. This was the 90s. So how I got interested in classical guitar. I started studying by myself. I'm writing music for solo classical guitar, and started performing in cafes, and both as a soloist, as a duo with a violin player. Well, 1999, I moved to Barcelona, so I quit my bands, and as I've got kind of an adult job, I quit playing music and wanting to do different things. So the ukulele entered my life by a mere accident. In 2008, I was working as a web developer, and I didn't have too much time for playing music, but I have some spare money. I live by myself, and I could do whatever I wanted with my money. So I started collecting instruments, and as I had always played string instruments, I like folk music, so I bought a bouzouki, and a bouzouki. I bought baglama, which is like a miniature bouzouki. I bought a Cuban tres, and I doodled with them, but never got really into play. Yes, like hoarding instruments that I didn't really use. Then I got interested into Brazilian music, and I wanted to buy a cavaquinho. So I went window shopping and went to all the shops in music shops in Barcelona, and I never found a cavaquinho. And one day, looking at a window shop, I discovered what I thought was a cavaquinho. So I entered the shop and say, I want to buy that cavaquinho. And they told me, but that's not a cavaquinho, it's a ukulele. Okay. How much is it? It's like $60. So I said, okay, I'll buy it anyway, and I'll take it home and see what this thing is. So merely by accident, I got my ukulele, and I discovered. So what they did was get online and check what people did with ukulele. I think the first video I saw was the Why My Guitar Gently Weeps by Shimabukuro, which by the time was the top notch player, maybe. So I discovered Lyle Rich was playing jazz, the arrangements of Josh Kings and John King and all that he did, and fall in love with especially James Hill. Yeah. Discovered some other people like Wilfred Welty, Keith Middleton, Ron McKillop, who were arranging music for the ukulele at levels that I could manage, because as much as I liked what Shimabukuro and Hill were doing, it was impossible to play. So discovering them make the ukulele more affordable and give me ideas on how to arrange things. Also, I found that the ukulele was an instrument that I really liked playing because I could play at the sofa. So in the night after dinner, I started television, watching nothing actually, and played ukulele for hours among my cats and the ukulele. the thing was that in Spain, as it was difficult to find cavaquinhos, it was difficult to find ukuleles. So, but the moment we were talking 2008 in Europe, the only thing that you could buy easily was the lanikai. The shops didn't have any interesting offer. So the first ukulele that I bought didn't really intonate so well. So I immediately go looking for some other thing, and I bought some, my first Kala from, what was the name? MGM from Hawaii. And it was a tenor that I discovered that there were actually different sizes. And then went looking for something else. I bought something from Germany. And then for that would be the fourth ukulele, I discovered the shop of Mercatino del Ukulele in Italy. That's part of the Aquila Emporium. And I wrote them and told them, listen, I want to buy a ukulele and I don't know which one to get. What do you recommend? And they told me, we're doing a ukulele festival in Vicenza in Italy in 2 months. Come, check, and buy here. And I said, okay, that's fine with me. So I went to the festival. I met with amazing people. I met Mike Upton from Kala. I met Keith Middleton. I met the people from Aquila. The players there were Ukulele Zaza, Aaron Kame, Veronica Svaja, lots of top players that I didn't knew even existed at the moment. When I talked to the business people from the factories and the brands, I told them about my idea of opening an online shop in Spain dedicated to folk instruments, to offer a variety of the kind of folk instruments that I was collecting. I told me, well, what if you do a ukulele shop? If no one is selling ukuleles in Spain, people need to buy ukuleles, so you may open the shop and make it your business. So this was June 2009, and in September 2009, I opened Ubicosas, that was the first ukulele business in Spain, and was my main source of income for years, like until Amazon entered the Spanish market.
Can I stop you there for just one moment?
Sure.
Does anyone have any questions at this point that they would like to ask, or anything that they want to kind of ask any deeper questions for Choan? All right. Yeah, well then let's go ahead. Thank you.
Let's see if we can make this video sharing work. This is one of my first arrangements. It's like 30 seconds of Celtic music.
Kind of lost it.
Did it sound there?
For me, it kind of faded out, but I get the good idea. I'll go check the link later.
Okay. Anyway, if you want, I can share the links of the videos that I intend to share.
That would be great. Thank you.
So I write music, and I write lots of music. I started writing when I was in the rock bands. I write the songs and arrange for the bands. Then I started writing for the classical guitar. Then there was this long hiatus from like the 2000 to 2009. And I started arranging for ukulele and then started writing originals. Let's see if the one songs. This is the first tune I wrote for ukulele, the first original. Okay, this one sounded better.
I had a hard time hearing it. I don't know. Did anyone else? Was it clear for anyone or everyone?
I heard
Yeah?
it just fine.
Good. That's weird. I wonder what I need to do. That's awesome. I wish I could have heard it. Kind of
Okay.
bummed.
Anyway, the presentation
Probably just a Zoom thing.
Yeah, I'll check into it. Thank you, everybody.
The tune I wrote one night that my wife had problems to get to sleep, and I tried to do the kind of lullaby. So I got this that later, much later, was part of my second album. That's Lullabies for Astronauts. So I didn't write that much at that moment. This was I wrote around 2014. But when we were expecting our new baby that was born in 2015, I started writing lots of lullabies. And with them and some other things, I recorded 2 brief albums of soothing music for solo ukulele that are 10 minutos para ukulele solo and Lullabies for Astronauts. Both are available from Bandcamp. And I published both of them along the ukulele tabs in a PDF. And also made a CD and a book and a print book for Lullabies for Astronauts. And that's it for the. Then I started writing instructional material because I had some students and I found that the material available was not of my liking. Because if I wanted to teach the classical style ukulele with finger picking with 2 voices, going farther than the chord melody and going farther than the finger picking for accompaniment, there were no very useful. There were a few good books of arrangements, but there was no progression, and the teaching books were mostly centered about getting a grip and doing something with your right hand and repeating and moving to another grip, and this kind of arpeggiating and moving between simple chords. And I thought it would be great to have something more meaty, something more chewy. And as I love the studies for guitar that I had studied by Carlevaro and Leo Brouwer, I thought of writing short studies, and then I make the 15-minute studies for ukulele, which was originally launched as a video series in 2019. And I made a Patreon page, and well, a bunch of people got interested, so they kept me going. And let's see, I didn't put a video for this. Okay, so my other life. After making all this instructional and soothing music, I thought that if I use my ukulele as my expression, my means of expression, I should be able to express sadness and angriness and whatever state I was in. And if you remember 2020, which was not a great year for anybody, by November 2020, I was quite depressed. And one day I went to take a walk to the close mountains, close to home. And I got an idea of a five-note motive to start writing a new tune. And I did this. It's quite long, it's like 4 minutes. So I think it's okay if we just listen to the main section and then we move to something else. Anyway, you can listen to it in YouTube. I think it's enough for them of the other thing. So this was something that I haven't ever done with the ukulele. And when I wrote this tune, I was so unsure of what to do with that I didn't want to play it because I felt really bad any time I practiced it. And I finished the score and I contacted Giovanni Albini, who at the moment we haven't even chat. And he surprisingly he accepted the piece with enthusiasm. And this video that I've shown, it was recorded like 2 or 3 days after I sent him the score because he was enthusiastic. And I've had the luck to be able to collaborate with Giovanni for many more things. And he also recorded this piece in his first ukulele CD. That's a contemporary ukulele. If you want to listen to some risky ukulele music, I recommend it. Most probably you won't like everything that's in there, but there are many interesting music and something that even too risky for me. Anyway, I started in this path, and then I wrote some more things, and I discovered via Albini the music of our part that I love. I came to love his music and his style. And I discovered what Samantha Muir was doing in this kind of setting too, with open triads like the bass for a tune and simple melodies on top. And also Samantha had developed a new tuning for the ukulele. That's a very, very open tuning that uses low G, B flat on the third string, D on the second string. So we have a root triad of G minor and the first string in B flat. So if you strum that chord, it's like, whoa, it's like something amazing. And utilizing that tuning, I wrote this tune that I sent to Samantha, and she kindly played it. This, I think, like 2 minutes or something. I don't know if we can listen to it complete. Well, let's play. It's sad. Let's stop this one here so we can move on. So I got into minimalist music, and then I wrote a bunch of things in that style. And this is one of my favorites. That's Bigger Steps, written for baritone ukulele. Here is Donald Bousted is playing, as he called his baby elephant-sized ukulele. That's a big, big baritone. And this piece is really long. It's like 7-8 minutes in 3 sections. So we'll listen just to the first one. What I did here, it's writing using a progressive scale. It's kind of I developed a system where I thought of the scale like in which the first step was just one semitone, the second was one tone, the next step would be a minor third, the next step major third. So we start with C, D flat, B, A flat, G, B, and anytime it goes opening, and I toyed with the idea to develop chords and systems, and got into this that uses mirrors and inversions and everything I knew about composition at the time. So that's the first movement of bigger steps. I play music, I write music, and I publish music. I run my own music producing business, and I told you it's the Ukulele Bookshop.com. And as in the same way that I noticed that there was a lack of material or the material I wanted to have in music, I thought the presentation quality of the ukulele music was not great. So I wanted to present my music nicely and in a useful manner. So I am with the Ukulele Bookshop. I aim for quality both in content and in presentation. And for this, that's some things that I care about, like making the voices evident. So if we're playing two voices in a piece, I want to know what these are and have this separation. Yeah, and so where the note starts and where the note ends. Not limit just to one voice and the note starts here and it ends whenever it ends. Almost console notation and tablature. I try to make the notation information complete. So if you didn't have the tablature, you could play from the notation, or just ignore the tablature and adapt whatever you need to adapt. Additionally, I consider that if you offer a digital edition of a score, it has to be useful. And for that, I think we should escape from the kind of style of publishing and go for a PDF that it's portable and it's always printable, has no restrictions to move it between your different devices, because I like having my music in my computer, in my tablet, whatever I like. And I also try to make useful indexes for the books. I'll show you one of them later. So books I've released. I've made a 50-minute tour studies for ukulele that we talked before. Started as a video series, and then I published as a book in 2021. Waltz in Progress, Varieties for baritone ukulele, made the low fourth for 4 fingers. And this next week, it's going out 8 racks a week. Also, I'm lucky to count Tony Misan as a friend, and we've just relaunched his arthropoda collection that he published originally with Amazon. We revamped the content, remade the layout, and it's a quite different book than the original. Same content, but much better presented, I think. And we're happy with that. So what's in the books? The 50 Miniatures for Ukulele. It's a 50 pieces book. These are short pieces, all are like around 1 minute or less. And I thought to develop finger picking abilities, but also to develop musicianship, that I think was another thing that was missing from the available books. Because if you are always playing in 4/4 and you never work on dynamics and you never work on different rhythmic patterns, okay, you are great arpeggiating a G major chord in 8 notes, but we need something else to make music. So I wanted to, on one side, use the fixed grip style of composing, but given the accents to determinate notes to create melodies, and also create 2 voices. Always, I always think of 2 voices when I compose, because I think it's we have a melody and we have something that acts as a background of as a counterpoint, but it's not like we're launching chords and then let's see what happens. I want the music to be controlled by the player, and the player to express and make the ukulele actually sound like 2 people playing 2 ukuleles and not someone making all the time the same kind of things. So all these pieces are written for reintroduced ukulele. Some of them use just 3 strings, so can be played on both, but the corpus of the book is for reintroduced ukulele. That's my main ukulele tuning. As I thought this would be played in any kind of instrument, I limited everything to 12 frets. So there goes a quote by Todd Figel, that's quite a friend. The book contains many different styles. It has classic balance, it has contemporary music, it has odd time signatures, it has Latin waltz, it has kind of tango, many things. Let me show you one of the pieces. This is one of my favorites, and it's actually a quite simple tune that employs repeating patterns on the right hand, moves repeated patterns in the left hand. Look at the hands and see what I did here. And that's it. I have some more examples, but let's just keep some to move on. So another book I did is Waltz in Progress. It's a collection of 12 ukulele waltzes. As of rental tanning, and here it is quite important to use rental tanning. Another thing that I didn't like of many books that I've sold before is that the kind of thing like this book is apt both for low G and rental tanning, and I think you can do music that it's valid for both tannings. But if you want to really exploit the capabilities of the instruments, I consider the rental tanning ukulele and the low G tanning ukulele two very different instruments. You can do many things the same, but you need to exploit the fourth string. The high G string is quite unique, and if you explore it, you can do very great things. So this was inspired by the collections published by the great guitarists of the Romantic era, like Giuliani, Sor, these kind of people, which I had studied somehow when I played guitar. And they range from fairly easy to quite demanding. And let me play one of the short ones. These are, some of them are about 1 minute, some of them are like 3 minutes. This is quite frantic, quite explosive. And that's it. This is Larry's that was dedicated to one of my students, Larry Usama. So, brevities for baritone ukulele. I have some favorite pieces in this. And as in the same way that I've told you before, that I consider the low G ukulele and the rental ukulele two different instruments, I must say that I also consider the baritone ukulele and the low G ukulele two different instruments, because the range, the pitch has a different feel, but also because, and that's I think more important, because the resonance and the sustain of the baritone ukulele are very, very different of other kinds of ukulele. So in this collection, I intended to explore this kind of thing. So it includes music that goes from Brazilian choro, melancholic pulses, ragtime, very different styles. Let me play one of the pieces. I've gone with the short ones. So this kind of music you can play perfectly on any low G and ukulele, but I think the character is quite different. Anyway, the book is valid for both kind of instruments, and some of the tunes work perfectly on the low G. Some of okay, I prefer the baritone for some things. I actually don't use the baritone too much. I have like epochs where I always play soprano, then 2 months later I put the soprano in a back and I'll always play baritone, and then always low G. So it's like the instrument of the week or of the month. Then there's May the Low Fourth that's actually played for low G ukulele, and it's, I thought of for playing on a tenor. You know, the size is not relevant. The relevant thing is that you have a low fourth, and it's also from beginner to intermediate. In these 2 books, I don't think they are, or even in the waltzes, they are not beginner pieces. Everything is demanding. And some of them are quite difficult, actually. And again, in this book, there's tango, samba, waltzes, Renaissance style pieces. And I think I've prepared one of the tangos. Oh, and I got a code from this skill for this one. Let me play Rubia. That's one tango. This is also a bit long, so let's say like a minute. We have a repetition and a trio, and things happen, and that's, I think, quite a good piece, but too long for this moment. So next book, it's for 4 fingers, and this one, it's thought for beginners. One of the things that I've seen my students are always afraid is playing high up the fretboard. So I wrote this trying to demonstrate that playing high up the neck is as easy as playing the first frets. The difficulty is actually in shifting positions. So I thought, what if we don't shift positions? Never. So this book is thought to play, the first position is everything in the first 3 frets. The second piece is everything in the second to 5th fret. So we have 4 fingers and we always play 4 frets, then 3rd to 6th, 4th to 7th, etc. And last one piece that is all the notes are on open strings, and it's quite nice to play. Actually, I wrote that one when my baby was like 15 days, and I had in my arms and the ukulele on the table, and I plugged the ukulele and I created that. So there's lots of campanella, lots of open strings apart from the fretted strings, and it's nice to play, I think. But I think I forgot to put a video. Maybe we can demonstrate later live. Then the coming book is 8 Tracks a Week. That's a collection of original ragtime. It's coming this week if I manage to finish the text. That's for me is always the most difficult thing of my books. It's completing the introductions, because creating the music is reasonably easy compared to engraving the music and correcting the music, making the layout of the book, and putting the text. So I wish I had a publisher that did that, all that for me. And I think, okay, I missed the video for this one too, sorry. So next in my plans, I want to complete Studies. That's a collection of duets that I started recording in 2020, but 2020. And I stopped the project for a while, thinking that I would retake soon, but I haven't. So I had 11 of the 12 intended duets written. I think I only recorded 5. Then there's The Wonder of Simple Things. That will be a set of progressive piece for beginner with a wider aim that the 4/4 fingers. And in this, I actually like to put some good text to explain what you're doing in any piece, and because there are like 20 to 30-second pieces, quite progressive, and I think this one could be kind of a tutor book, because the rest are material that you can use, but if you don't really know how to play it, you would need a teacher to show you, to demonstrate, to explain why some decisions are made in the fingering and that kind of things. Then I have Dream Big Little Monsters. That's an album that I've been recording for years but never finished. All the music is complete, but I'm never satisfied with the recordings. And Undressed, that would be a brief album of minimalistic pieces in the style of Common Blue and some other pieces that I've written. So, as I told you, I teach music. I run a group of adults at a community center, and I also made online one-to-one lessons. Although I haven't been so actively lately, because I've been working on music matters that consume much of my time. Many of my music has didactic purposes, but maybe needs to be explained. I intend my publications to be helpful, and that's why I do some things like considering what fingerings I put and which fingerings I do not put. And of course, for my lessons, I do arrangements as required, but many of them are not published because I don't publish copyrighted material. So, things I do to make my books useful. This is the index page for the 50-minute studies for ukulele. And I'm not sure if you can read what it says. If not, this page is available on the website and much more readable. I categorize the studies by grade and also by subject. The grade is quite relative because it's not the standard grading of 1 to 8, but among the pieces inside the book, because the grade 1 is harder than the grade 1 usual level, and the grade 5 maybe like grade 7 of the usual levels. They made the studies by subject to catalog things that you work out in your study. And then I put incipits. That's something that I like to do in all my books, because I think if you have a book with 50 pieces, you will never remember the name or the number of what you want to play or what you like to play. So for me, it's useful to, because I don't even remember. I can't remember the 50 pieces either. So if you go to the index, you can look at the first bars of the pieces and get into what you wanted to do.
Love it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I mean, we usually go for about 90 minutes, which would give us about 15 minutes for everyone to ask you some questions. I would love, if it's okay with you, to open up the floor and see if there are any direct questions that anyone has for you. Would that be okay?
Yeah. Let's go.
Hi,
Anyone
I'm back.
wanna? Oh, there's Anne.
I have some burning questions, may I? Yeah,
Excuse me. Absolutely.
okay. Choan, do you think you could unshare the screen so we could all see each other?
Yeah.
So stop share, in other words.
Okay.
Yeah. Hi. So thank you so much. I've been listening to you the entire time while I was driving. So it's probably very dangerous because I got very excited about your music. I think the main question I have is, since we're all teachers, and dare I say, a lot of our music is that we use are music that everybody has heard of. Your music are compositions that nobody has heard of. So big question is, how could you get us to use your music in our teaching? I heard that you wrote your music primarily because you didn't think anything else there was progressive, and also, other improvements and various things. So you decided to write your own music. That's my question.
The thing is that even if there was music that was actually what I needed, it was not easily available. So if there's something that I want to use, but I need my students to ask for a book from Germany or from and invest money in something, I don't want to do that. So it was easy to write the music. So thing is, how to use the music. Well, what do you want to teach? If you want to teach hammer-ons and pull-offs, you need some exercises to practice. But exercises on itself are quite boring. So if you make some music that is full of this, but it's interesting to listen, interesting to play, I think it works better. Or if you want to work on like the index I show, if you want to work on concrete matter, you go with something. And thing is, you don't need to use my music to do that. Or everyone can make interesting exercises for whatever they need. I made what I think was useful, and there's people using them. The thing I found is that the people who want to play the music, which are students, always have uses because because the music is not so easy. If you know how to proceed and what are the reasons, the decisions, like I said before, you find my books are plenty of fingerings. The fingerings are there for a reason, and they are thought for a reason. And if you play the music and don't consider anything and just read top to bottom, and I've had many students that do that take a tab and play top to bottom terribly, with bad technique, bad musicality, but they are satisfied. So the thing is that you can have a piece that can be played that way, like a piece that suggests you to use the 4 fingers to appreciate and put the don't repeat and these kind of things. You can play it. Maybe you can play with just with the thumb, and it may sound okay, but the idea is that you have an exercise to develop something that would be useful to play more difficult music. And I think everything goes in that way, because actually the books that I used to teach are the 50 minutes to this ukulele and the 4 fingers. The others are more kind of repertoire books that if someone likes the music and want to play it, go study it. I think it's worth it. But maybe if you can do on your own, get some help, get a teacher who can explain why is this crazy guy writing this open F chord with this fingering that makes no sense at all for a beginner. But there's a reason, because if you are going to somewhere or coming from somewhere, fingerings are always malleable, and you need to go with F. It's not F is like this. Okay, F is like this, but if I need to go like this because I need this, or make some figure that is not so obvious, I think you
Can I say one thing is that when we play music we've never heard of before, we are forced to read the music. Yeah. Because so much of the ukulele world is playing music we already know, and we live in a space where you could just listen to it first, and we're trying to copy. We're not reading notation or tabs as hard because there's this constant interactive. Yeah. So I'm thinking about how I became, good at sight reading sheet music. I grew up without the radio or television. I didn't know Burt Bacharach's song. I didn't know American Top 40. So I was forced to read music and think I know how it sounds like. And so that's why I think you are reintroducing the ukulele as an instrument to learn new music and read music in that vein. I don't know. Tell me if I'm wrong, because I'm in the world of ukulele clubs and everybody plays music that everybody already knows.
is this my music is for a niche of very, very few people that playing that this style. So if you're interested in strumming 4-chord songs, it's perfectly legit and it's fun and it's great. But my books won't help you with that. So if you want to go finger picking and develop a style and understand style and play that way, they're great. But of course they are not useful for learn to knitting or learn to cook.
So we can learn to read better. Marlise, sorry, back to you.
Yes, and yes, I love the idea. I think earlier you said about meaty, making it a little more meaty. I am curious. I mean, if we really talked about it with a lot of the people on the ukulele groups, if it's kind of the elephant in the room, where people are just kind of like, okay, these are the songs that we want to do, but where do we find these other songs? So I love that there's a resource out. I mean, I know there are many, but yeah, I like that. Also, I was going to ask you, because you're obviously very prolific and you've published a lot. Like, how did you find people to publish for you? How do you go about finding people to play for you? Do you put your own money into it? How does that all work?
Well, the publishing thing is reasonably inexpensive because I do everything. So what I do is put lots of time. But actually the costs are limited to the cost of the hosting and the printing and the shipping. The print is not that expensive. If I were selling by the thousands, it would be much cheaper, but I can print runs, because the thing is I need to print the small batches because I cannot have. Now, the first time I published a book, the Lawrence Astronaut, I made 100 copies of the book, 200 copies of the CD, and it took 4 years to sell the books, and I still have CDs. So what I do now is make small batches, and I have a printer at the neighborhood, and I make batches of 25 or 50. And lately what I do is whenever I have a book half completed, I announce that I'm releasing a book in 2 months and putting it in pre-order. So with the pre-order, I can cover the cost of the first batch and some more. And well, also most of what I sell is digital. So digital is, once you've made the first edition, the cost is 0, and that works great. And also, I think every day there's more people using tablets for reading music, and it's very comfortable. If you use a nice app to handle your catalog, it's very comfortable. So I know many of the people that buy my books in print edition buy the print edition because they want to have it, but they actually play from the tablet, because one of the things I do is, if you buy the print edition, you also have the digital edition. It's included. It's in the package.
I had a quick question, Choan. Nice to meet you, by the way. What music software do you use?
Sorry?
What music notation software do you use?
I use Lillipond.
Lillipond, okay, right.
I'll send you the details later if you want.
Oh, thanks. Yes, please. Thank you.
It's quite crazy to learn, and it's easy to take the first steps, but to make great looking scores, you need to develop your own house style. But compared to what you get from Guitar Pro or the likes, it's the difference is obvious. And I also like better than Sibelius or Finale or Musescore.
Okay, it's useful there. Thank you.
Welcome. Javi, say something.
So how do you work on promoting yourself on, I know you have websites, we have conversation here. How do you go about getting the word out, not to potential students, but also to potential teachers?
Well, mostly via Facebook, and I'm discovered because thing is mouth to mouth, and most of the people that buy my books, I don't know where they come from. I have no idea where they come from. They say nothing, they buy a book, then you make a new book, they buy the new book, and I'm lucky to have many repeating customers and a few people that have everything that I've released. And I think they have even more books of my own than myself. The promotion, it's mostly Facebook, because unless you got into advertising, you cannot get anywhere else. The problem I usually have is that I always in the kind of the same circle, because not only because it is difficult to get further, but because the market is a niche. The people that is interested in playing this kind of music is like, say, 5% of the ukulele world, if much. And of that people, the ones that are actually interested in paying for that music what 10% of that. So I feel very lucky if one of my books has 100 copies, and that's fine. The thing is, even if I don't do much money, this is not my principal source of income. So I have a daily job not related to music, but it works quite well, and it's not expensive for me because what I put it's time and time and time and work and work and work, but the investment is minimal once you've learned everything to know, of course.
And it takes time. It just takes time, for sure.
But as I said before, the easier thing for me is write the music.
Right. You need a PR person, don't we all? Kelly has a question. Kelly.
Hello, good morning. Malaysia now is 7:30. Choan, nice meeting you. I'm from Malaysia. I have a question. Do you organize a ukulele festival in Spain, in Barcelona?
No, at the moment, no. I was involved in the organization of the Ukulele Festival in Barcelona from the year 2010 to 2013.
Pardon me, you mean you work in a university?
No. In the Ukulele Festival, I was involved 2010,
Okay.
2013. Then there was nothing. In 2017, there was a festival organized by other people, and then nothing else.
Okay, so in Spain, I mean, in your country, is there someone doing a ukulele festival? Because festival is everywhere in the US, Canada. In Spain also, is the same happenings?
There are ukulele clubs, but
yeah, the ukulele groups
are happening even in the last years. I have no news of that.
So do you sell your books at this festival or the gatherings?
No. In fact, the Spanish market is irrelevant. It's actually irrelevant to my music. If there are 4 people that want to play this kind of music, not my music, but this kind of music, there are 4 people in Spain. It's too much. My main market is the United States, then Germany, then United Kingdom, then some countries around Europe, and Spain maybe like the 10th or 12th country.
My last question is, do you export your book to like country like my country, Malaysia? Maybe I'm going to check it out in the bookshop. Or you just sell your book in your own country?
No, I ship worldwide. Anyway, the thing is the shipping to make it affordable is unregistered mail, and it's slow, terribly slow. No book has been lost yet in 2 years and a half.
Okay.
But sometimes it takes like 2 months to arrive, because if I want to keep the cost low, I need to go this way. Anyway, everything I do is also actually available in digital form, so you can buy the PDF and you can use on your tablet, or you can print by yourself and whatever you need to print and discard what you are not interested. I think I got to tell you is that at the bookshop there are some freebies that you can find in the freebie section, and also
like I got Tony Mason's book in our local bookshops here. I like his song, The Creepy Collie, the spider songs. Just now I saw you have the book with Tony Mason. His book is selling in our country, the bookshop.
That's in Amazon. Yeah. I'm pasting a code in the chat that will give you a 20% discount in any of the digital editions of the bookshop.
Thank you so much. Nice meeting you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Anne and Marlies organized this talk. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So thank you, Marlies, for hosting. In the interest of time, we need to wrap this up. And after we stop recording, you could stay on. Feel free to stay on, chat a bit more. We do have scheduled a meeting next time in April. Lindsay Higgs is going to talk about how you teach improvisation. Yeah. And the month after that, Mark Segelman out in California is going to talk about how you teach Hawaiian strums. So first of all, I'd like to thank Choan Galvez for spending over an hour with us, sharing his music. Thank you so much. I think it's very, very bold to this vertical chain of not only composing but publishing your music. One of the things I learned from lots of different music stores and ukulele stores, I just got back from Hawaii, is they're all carrying Hal Leonard music, sheet music. And the reason why they're carrying Hal Leonard sheet music is because they all get it from the same distributor. So I'm dying to know who is the distributor, because without that, I mean, all the stores are very interested in ukulele sheet music and books. They are, but it sounds like we need to go and tell them, that your books exist. Otherwise, they'll just get more books from Hal Leonard. Jeff is nodding. Correct. It's correct. So I think if you have an interest in collating, I see that, publishing other people's books or carrying other people's books. I know it's not something you do. You just want to spend time composing more music. I think there is a real need for that. Yeah. So that composers and arrangers can spend time on doing what they're good at rather than.
Thing is that
Yeah.
I'd like to do that and I want to do that. And in fact, what I haven't told you is that we're working on a new book by Tony Misen that will be published with the Ukulele Bookshop. I'd love to help with that, but the thing is that that's the part of this business that I don't like at all. So I like review music. I can help with the score. So if anyone is interested in hiring me for engraving his scores, I'd be happy to help. But the policing thing, it's quite complicated, and you have to manage rights and manage payments and that kind of administrative things that I'm not really interested in doing. I may do it sometime, but at the moment I have a work to attend, and the spare time I want to invest in making my music more than in managing a business. It's not that I don't want to work with other people's music, it's that I don't work with other people's money.
No, I totally understand. Anyway, thank you so much. And let's see. Marlies, are you okay if I stop the recording and people hang on to talk more? Do you want to say something for the record?
Someone asked about, is the link coming? Hi, Bruce. I'm sorry we didn't get a chance to hear you and get you introduced to you. Is the link coming? Do you mean the, oh, I see. Let me go ahead and do you mean the discount code? Here is the one that Choan sent to me. Yes, the Ukulele Bookshop, and then he also sent this discount UKINS 2303. And is that going to stay if we close down the chat? Is that something people need to write down?
Oh, the chat will stay. It doesn't get recorded.
Okay.
Yeah, but what you just said got recorded on YouTube. Is that
okay? Good.
Choan, is that okay? People who watch this will get
Sorry.
the.
It's awesome.
No. Okay.
Well, I have to leave in about at about 1:45, and I'm happy to leave my computer open for everyone who wants to stay. But I'm going to have to leave in a little bit,
So could I
at,
just get
in
a
about 10
poll?
minutes.
Can I get a poll for the next time we meet, whether the third Saturday, 15th of April is good at this time for Lindsay? I think Lindsay, that's a date that's good for you. It's just after Easter. Yeah.
It's good for
I've
me.
just got a tough act to follow after Choan.
All right, great. Okay, so I'm gonna stop. So that'd be the 15th.